Originally, this video was going to be a apology to whichever student was offended by my short that I pitched in class called No One Believed Him, which is about a man who is raped by a female and seeks help and nobody believes him, so he contemplates death. You were so offended at my short, despite who I think you are, pitching something about violence as well, which also was triggering to me, but I didn't say anything about it. I let it be because I believe we have the right to make what film projects we want, and the way the class is set up, you have the choice to open the link. You have the choice of clicking on the video. You have the choice of hitting play. You are not forced to watch any of the other classmates' projects. So I didn't say anything. Not even after I was told there was a classmate filing a complaint outside of the class and department about my project because it was triggering to them. It didn't matter that your project triggered me and that several of the projects in the class have the same theme as mine. There's other classmates that have projects about sexual assault, about violence against women, kidnapping, stuff like that. None of those were complained about except for mine, which also told me who you are. And I know that it's a personal vendetta against me and not necessarily the project, but you are causing me severe trauma. I am autistic. I grew up in a very abusive environment, both in my adopted home and in foster care. And you are causing triggers and issues that's stopping me from doing my classwork, from living my life. Because all I'm thinking about is this and having to fight and deal with it. I am normally halfway decent at masking my autism and my traumas and stuff. I normally don't have outbursts with my teachers. My journalism teacher, who's been helping me endlessly this semester, I lost it with her because of the crap that I'm having to deal with this project that you, my classmate, who is different in society's eyes, who has to fight to have your rights to be who you are, is causing me trauma to have to fight for my right to tell a story about a man who is raped. No, I'm not a man. I was never born a man. I was always a female. But I know what rape is. I've lived it. And I know men live it too. And we need to talk about it to end the cycle of violence. But you don't care. You want your rights. You want your privileges. You get them at the cost of my mental health. I am having breakdown after breakdown, having to deal with this. I'm behind on my Law 33 work, which needs to be done for the certificate that I'm going for in the cinema department to justify being here, which I came back to this school to do my film projects, to get help with them, especially the lower budget ones, so I can put them together to do the bigger projects. I thought I had won this issue because I proved by the own student handbook that was proved by even the student handbook that you all were using against me as to why I shouldn't be allowed to do my project. I proved in your own words, the own school's words, that I have the right to do this project, that it does not infringe on anybody else's rights or cause anybody else trauma because you get to choose to click on the link to watch other students' projects. It is not shown in class. It is not shown in class. And I repeat, you choose to go to the link where all our projects are put on. Then you choose to click on which projects you want to look at. And then you choose a third time. A third time you choose to click on the project and watch it, which means you have to not watch my project at all. So you don't have to be triggered by it. Just as I don't plan on watching yours simply because I don't want to support your work, but also the way you pitched it in class, I know it's going to be triggering to me. And if I'm not doing it for something, like I did watch some documentaries for a contest and vote on them and stuff and was extremely partial, so I can do that. But the trauma that you have caused me in previous semesters and this one, no, not at all. Not going to give you the satisfaction. So I do have to thank you. Thank you for being so demanding of your own rights that you forget about other people's rights. So demanding of your own rights to be different that you fail to allow somebody else to be different. To fight for your own rights, to have your mental stability, that you cause me severe mental instability, causing my autism to be active continuously, not being able to mask it, being behind on my schoolwork because I had to take the time out to do research, to find the case studies from the Supreme Court to justify my right to do my film projects in film school. I thought it was over with. I thought it was. But I get an email after getting less of the stipend that every other student in the class got, suggesting very strongly that I don't do it because it is too graphic. Just having a female sitting on top of a male's genital area, even though she's fully clothed, which I did for you all. I altered the script for you all to make you all comfortable. She will now be in a hoop skirt or dress, like the really flary, and so where it sets down and you don't see anything. You can't tell. I am having his pants down around his legs, so there's like that mental thing going on, saying what's going on there and stuff. And the scene is not even a half a page. And that is too graphic for you all. But yet, you all can put stuff in there about people in mental hospitals being physically, mentally, and abused in any which way. You can have scenes about women being kidnapped and physically assaulted. You can have scenes about females being sexually assaulted. My 2 projects last semester that I pitched and filmed, which did not complete, so nobody got to see them, one of them was about a female who was gang raped and goes to therapy to get over it. Nobody had a complaint about that. The other one was about a female that decides, yes, it's okay to get in this relationship with this guy. They go on several dates. She finally agrees to have sex with him, and then he ghosts her. So she comes up with a plan to sneak into his house and have sex with him and kill him during sex. Nobody had an issue with that. Not at all. Not a single issue. But you, and you know who you are, who is different than everybody else in society, or at least the largest population of society, who has to fight for your right to be you, has caused me to fight to do my projects, my artwork, to be me. You also claimed mental instability, mental issues, and how this is triggering those mental issues. But you don't think about me. I have autism. I have severe complex PTSD after being severely abused for 18 years and then being raped and abused as an adult. But you don't think about that. You only think about you. Now, I'm sure I'm going to get heat and get in trouble for this video that will be posted on social media, including the classroom's Canvas discussion page. But you know what? You have taught me one thing. As much as I get tired of being in society and having to deal with issues like this and people like you, it's because of people like you that I keep fighting. Not for me, but for everybody else that is too scared to stand up against bullies like you. Because you are a bully. I will not be quiet. I will not allow you all to tell me what I can and cannot make. I don't care if you believe men are raped or not. They are. Look at the statistics. Go to your local police station and ask them. Go to the sex crimes unit and ask them. It is not us females that are the only victims. And if we want to end the cycle of victims and the cycle of violence, then we need to talk about it. And that's what I do with every single one of my projects. They are all meant to bring subjects to light that need to be discussed so we can fix our society, not just for people like you, but for everybody. If you want the right to be different, if you want the right to have your mental issues, if you want the right to have whatever it is, the freedom of religion, the freedom of who you sleep with, the freedom to have whatever gender you want or be called whatever you want, you need to give those rights to other people. Your rights don't come at the cost of other people's rights. So, I am sorry you all are offended by my projects, but not anybody else's in the class that pitch similar topics as mine this semester. But I will not be silenced. I will not stop fighting, and I will be doing my project. And if not, well, I spent my whole life in poverty. I spent my whole life fighting to survive. I spent my whole life fighting against bullies and dumb people. I can do it even longer. I'm 46 years old. I shouldn't be croaking anytime soon. I mean, I know I'm not the healthiest right now, but I can take it down. I can take a cue from you and take a mental leave from school and just fight this issue and do my medical appointments, which I have medical appointments Monday through Thursday, sometimes Friday. And I can take down my time and get rid of all my other classes and put my education on hold. I can put my education on hold. I do have many college degrees. I am very educated. And when determined, because of my autism and my ADHD, I become hyper-focused on a subject. And despite walking around my house for over 30 minutes, running this conversation through my head, which does not happen the way it runs in my head. It was all elegant in my head and it comes out completely different. I will keep fighting. Even if I have to live through the trauma every single day of my life, even if it costs me my housing, even if it costs me everything in the world, I don't care. I know what it's like to live on the streets. I know what it's like to live in poverty. I know what it's like to go 4 or more weeks without food. I can survive. I know how. And I know how to do it without making other people's lives miserable. But that being said, I also don't believe in playing the victim. So instead of playing the victim, I'm fighting back. I'm going on the defense. Sports analogy. I know you hate men and stuff, but sports is really popular among the men folk, you know. Can't say that comment. So, I'm sorry that you find me so offensive that you complain about me and not anybody else in the class or anybody else's projects. I'm sorry that I feel the need to do projects that actually make people think on how you treat us, other people. We are in this society together. Your trauma does not trump my trauma or somebody else's trauma. Your rights does not trump my rights or somebody else's rights. And as long as my rights to do this project doesn't infringe on your rights, which again, I will repeat, you get to choose to go to the website. You get to choose to click on each student's project. And you get to choose a third choice in the process to click on play. So nobody is forcing you to watch my film project. So you cannot be traumatized by it. It is not shown in class. You have to choose. I repeat, you have to choose to watch the video on the link of the website. Same thing as if you go to a theater. You get to choose which movies you go see. You get to choose on a TV channel which programs you watch. You don't like it, you go past it. Same thing as they tell you on social media. You don't like the post, you swipe past it. So know that I'm not going away, and know that I am not stopping making No One Believed Him, and I will make it this semester in this class, in this school, Los Angeles City College Film Department. You all might want me to be silenced and not do it, but guess what? That's not my cup of tea. I learned as a foster kid, which I learned in the very crudest way possible, that if you don't fight back, you will keep being bullied, you'll keep being beat on, and you'll keep being put down into the dirt until you do stand up and fight for yourself. And with my autism and ADHD and my complex post-traumatic stress combined, I don't know how to give up, because my autism won't let me forget. My ADHD puts me into focus mode on a certain subject, and my trauma forces me to not allow others to go through the trauma, because I know what it's like to live with trauma every day of your life. I am 46 years old. It's only in the last few years that I have not had a daily trauma or a reminder of a trauma or something. And I can keep going. You wanted in the spotlight, you wanted this issue brought to light, I'm doing it for you. I'll fight the good fight. So to my classmates that this does not include, I apologize for what is about to come, because I'm sure the school is going to start making regulations on what we can and cannot do. Los Angeles City College will be taking the rights away from those of us that want to be activists in our projects. They are going to start censoring what we can and cannot do. They already tell us we can't use firearms, which, okay, not everybody is intelligent enough to know how to use a firearm on set. Hell, that was just proven not too long ago on an independent feature film with really known, long-term professionals in the industry. So yeah, I can understand that slightly, but they're going to start censoring what topics we can cover, what scenes we can do, everything like that. Taking away the creativity of the artist and silencing those of us that are advocates for those that don't have a voice to speak up or who are too afraid to speak up. I'm not. I will always speak up for those that cannot. I've lost so many jobs over the years. I've caused so many enemies over the years doing that. I will keep doing it. That is what I was put here on this earth for. That is why Mother Earth recycled me here, is to do this and a few other things. But mainly to help society grow in a compassionate way and to be the voice of the voiceless.